Hey, this is Clay from Scenario. We're going to talk about the basics of the diagram editor in Scenario. So you can see I have a blank diagram open here. I'm already logged in, and what I'm going to start with is just adding an item. I'm doing this on the web version right now, but it works the same way on the tablet version as well. So once you open Add Item, first thing you got to do is just drag one in. So let's say I want a camera. I'm just going to click and drag. It's going to go wherever I put it, and then I'm going to put a person in here and a light in here just for argument's sake as well. And typically the camera and the light are going to point at the person. So to point a fixture at somebody, you just drag this and you point it at wherever you want to point it. Now wherever I move this, it's going to point at that person. Let's put the person down here. Put the camera over here near the light. So I guess it's a key, and then we're going to target both of them. Now if I wanted to just target a light anywhere I point that, it's going to be where it is. So now you can see where I move it, it's just pointed in that direction. It's not actually targeting anything in particular. I'm going to keep it targeting that for now. Now you can see that that's a little messy looking. So all of these have labels that they have, and if you click and drag the little dot, and that's why you do it, so you can actually control it. Then it's going to show up where you want it to show up. And now wherever I move this, it's going to stay over there. If I drag it a little farther away, it's just going to show me exactly what it's pointing at, just to make sure that I know. If I wanted to change what this I'm clicking and holding, I can also double click on it, and let's just say this is Cam A. Now if I wanted to change the color of it, if I wanted to color code stuff, I can just click here. I can just pick some basic colors. So now that's going to be red. We'll say this will be blue. Why not? I can also add a pipe. Say I want to rig this. So it'll give me an 8-foot pipe to begin with. I can turn it how I want it, and then I can stretch it out how I want it. There's no rigging quite yet, but you can make it look the way you make it look. Now, this is a pretty good segue. That doesn't look very good. The pipe doesn't look very good with overlapping the light like that. So let's open up the layers tab here, and we can see that the pipe is the top layer right now. That happens because I added it last. So I'm just going to drag the pipe down under the layer, down under the light, and now we can see the light is on top. So we can do that with any of our stuff. These don't actually overlap, but you can choose. So let's zoom out here a little bit so we have some more room to play with. Over here, back in the Add Item sidebar, we can see we have some different categories of items. So if I wanted to look at just tungsten stuff, these are just the built-in items that we have right now. I can add a LEGO as well. Makes a nice backlight. So we can put it down there. We can make that one that color. Maybe add a couple of space lights in here. Why not? Just fill that up. And if at any point you want to search for something specific, you can narrow it down. So right now it's only showing me the Fresnels within the tungsten category. I can also just easily switch to all items and see that we have some HMI Fresnels in there as well. There's an LED Fresnel there. So that's the basics of this. So let's say now I want to get a little more granular here. I don't want this to be just a generic light. I want it specifically to be a let's call it a 5K. So right now I have this light on the canvas here selected, and if I select a 5K Fresnel here, I'm going to be able to swap it. The other thing that I could do is I could just drag it over. So you see how it changes from adding to swapping when I drag it over. And now this is the new one there. You see it inherited the blue color, and you see it is also now targeting that same subject. So you can just easily, you know what, 5K is too much. I think maybe a 2K is a better choice. So now it's a 2K. And it also takes the same place over here. So that's the basics of how to add stuff. I can also, if I want to look at a grid here, it's kind of hard to see unless you're zoomed in. You see now there's a 1 foot grid. I can change that to meters if I want to. There are meters there. I'm just going to turn that back off. Also, when I switch that, we can see that it displays the pipe length in meters. Okay, so let's take a quick look here. You see right now, this has this option here where I can show DMX. So if I turn that on, I'm going to get DMX address here. And then I can set the channel and address again. I just clicked and hold, but if I double click, it does the same thing. And let's say I want this to be 51. And if I just click over here, I can choose the address. Now, you can choose different notations here. So if I wanted this to be in universe 2, I can just keep clicking here and it's going to switch among the different notations and it'll set that throughout your entire diagram. So let's say it's that address. So now I have that addressed. If I go turn that off and back on, it's going to reset it. Okay, so we'll keep that off for now. A couple more things actually. So also any of this is undoable. So if you decided you want to keep that, just hit undo. And with the address, you can drag that label around just the same way you can with the, here, let's get this out of the way too. All right, so now let's look at a couple other items we can add. So up here, you see we have this. This is markup. So if we wanted to just draw something on the diagram, that's how that works. You can just do some of that. And that drawing, once you toggle it back off, you can still go and you can, I wanted that to be green, say, and then you can edit it over here. You can get rid of it. For any items that are on here, if you want to delete it, just hit this button. That is, of course, undoable, so you can undo the delete if you want. And also, if you want more of the same thing, let's say we name these specifically, and then we just want to make another one. So just hit that button, and then you have another one. You can do that as many times as you want. Get a lot of nice fill light in here. You can also add a text item. This is just what it sounds like. And if you want to move that around, you can. If you want to change how wide it is also, you can do that. And the last thing is an image. So let's say we want to add an image here. Now it'll automatically add the image to the bottom. As you can see, you want it to underlap things. So be able to change the size, change the rotation. Put it under there. When I select it, it's going to show the image partially transparent, and that's a lot, so you can actually see how large it is. It's going to help you with floor plans, say, because it's not going to scale it. It's not going to know what scale is, so you want to make sure that your floor plan is close to actual size in order to make everything else make sense within that context. Okay, but then when you deselect it, it's just going to show it normally. You can change the name of an item over here in the layers table if you want. It's, again, just double click or click and hold, and then it'll stay labeled that. For an image in particular, it's not going to actually show that name, but it helps with organization over here. But if you change something that actually does show the name, then it does. So that's helpful. Now, let's clear some space up here. Last thing to talk about in the context of demo is lists. So you get a demo list for free here, and you can edit that list here. Right now there are no items in it, but there will be, I'll make another video about editing lists, and that'll help you get going. Just a quick how to get going here is it works with sections and items. So basically you have, this could be, again, click and hold or double click. Let's call this grip, and we can call this light stand. And you're not just going to want one of something, so just change the quantity there. Now once that's there, that's how you do the granular editing. But here you want to be able to compare, what you have in your list, what you have in the diagram. So you actually can change the quantity here, but if you want to do a lot more detailed stuff, get in there. Okay, so those are the basics of diagram editing in Scenario, and we'll see you next time.